There are few Hebrew scriptures more well known than the text known as the Ten Commandments. What is fascinating to me is that the scriptures don't actually refer to this list of 10 as commandments at all. In ancient Hebrew, the word for commandment is the word dabar, which simply means word. The scriptures refer to the list of 10 in Exodus 20 and Deuteronomy 5 as the 10 words or sayings. And in those traditions, these words or sayings were seen as gifts, even though they are mostly prohibitive, stated in the negative. In the ancient Near East, there was always an anxiety around how to please the gods. How do I keep them happy? How do I express loyalty or even love? One always had to guess, which usually included offering up lots of animals or grain or even children to be sacrificed. The 10 sayings that we are going to consider this week gave the people of God a clear roadmap on how to approach this one God, how to show loyalty to Him, how to love Him, how to worship Him. Here's how they begin from Deuteronomy 5, 7, and 8. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or in the earth beneath or in the waters below. No other gods. No images of gods, Yahweh God alone. In fact, in many ancient Jewish traditions, this is considered one word or commandment, not two. But here's the revolutionary thing. What follows this command or saying or word to have no other gods nor their images is not primarily a list of things to sacrifice. The rest of the sayings tie our worship of God with our relationship to neighbor. Worship, it turns out, has more to do with what or how many songs we sing, where or how often we attend our worship services, what or how much we put in the offering. As we will see this week, this kind of worship has everything to do with how we love. From Deuteronomy 6, 4, and 5, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God, Yahweh is one. Love Yahweh, your God, with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. In other words, love God with everything you are and everything you have. It is known in the Jewish traditions as the Shema, and it is repeated in those traditions every morning and every evening, because the text implores us to remember from Deuteronomy 6, 6 through 7. These commandments that I give to you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. You can hear the echo. Remember, remember, remember. Remember to worship. Remember to love. Remind yourselves. Remind your children. There was this fear way back in the ancient Near East that people would forget to worship. There was this fear that people might give their loyalty to some other king, some other political figure, some other nation that would compromise their calling to worship, which would compromise their calling to love their neighbor. Can you even imagine what that would have been like? Thank goodness we've come such a long way, am I right? Because to forget to remember to worship the one true God was to forget to remember to rightly love both God and others. Worship, we'll discover, is about where we place our loyalties, where we lodge our trust, where we define what it means to love. Let's explore together this week. Not because we need to prove that we are worthy of God's love, but rather because God is worthy of our love. In many ancient Jewish traditions, the first of the 10 commandments or words isn't a commandment at all. In the ancient traditions, the first saying is not, you shall have no other gods before me, but rather, I am Yahweh your God who brought you out of Egypt. That alone is considered the first word, or saying, or command. Now go try and do that command. You can't, because it isn't. The first word in this list isn't something that you can be commanded to do. It is only what God does. He has brought us out of Egypt, out of slavery, out of needing to save ourselves, earn His love, prove our worth. In the scriptures, our worship and our love can only begin in God's grace, in the safety and assurance of his divine love. This has always been where our love, our worship, begins.